Welcome, coaches and players. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Richmond Spiders Princeton Offense. Richmond runs a lot of their action out of the point series. Here we go, forwards out to a brush entry. The brush cut comes in front. We go down the middle. The ball is not passed to the middleman. There's two ways to run middle, and one way we ran it at the high school level was we would have that middle cut come down, and then we'd have number 2 here in the corner come set an exit screen, and then he would seal and post up. The other way you can do it, like Richmond's doing it, is send the point guard after he enters and cuts down the middle out the opposite way. They swing the ball away, and then they go to this wide action. Now they're playing two-man game on the open side of the floor. Here's our forwards out. Notice how high and wide Richmond plays. One thing that I love, here's the point away action, flows to pick and roll, a little give and go. The other thing Richmond does extremely well, and this is, you can tell they're just coached extremely well, is they flow from one action to the next. So here's a brush entry, here's point over. We're not as high. Typically this guy would be in the corner, but again, you can see his defender is expecting a screen over the top. His feet are caught in mud. He is not between his offensive player and the hoop. That's an easy backdoor layup. With everybody lifted that high, there's also no help coming on the backside. Here's a forwards out to brush entry, something very common you'll see. Here's the point away. Not there. We spin, flow to the next action, and we're playing two-man. The ball doesn't stop in Richmond's offense, and that's one thing that I love, and one teaching point I would use in teaching your teams is make sure the ball doesn't stop. Here in point away, there's miscommunication on the potential switch. This reject out of the split is wide open. They miss it, but they still end up getting a score out of it. Here they flow into pick and roll. Great patience here. Forwards out. Brush entry. Here comes point over. They go away from the action. There's a 45 cut and then another cut. Double burn, a double backdoor cut. So number 20, typically what Richmond will do, and we'll see it in some other videos here, is that 45 cut will occur to create some space, and then it'll turn into a dribble handoff and play on that open side like we saw in the last clip. Now number 20 is anticipating that. He comes to blow up the handoff. And this is one teaching point that I would always teach while coaching the Princeton offense as well, is let the defense play how they want to play. If they're going to overplay, if they're going to be aggressive, then we have reads off that to go backdoor. If they're going to sag off, then we have reads to be ready to pop and shoot. If they're going to lock and chase, then there's a lot of curl actions. There's a lot of handoffs out of the curl. There, forwards out to brush. Again, the forwards out just creates that initial movement there, that initial side-to-side action. Here they swing the ball to the wing, and it triggers the big. Instead of coming up, popping to the pinch post, he sprints out and sets a ball screen. Here, I call this action point fist. Forwards out, here's the brush. Instead of an entry here, the big comes and sets an immediate ball screen. The difference in this and the last clip is the ball was swung to the wing. The big then flowed all the way to the wing. In this, he's coming up and setting the screen and high in the slot. There's a good pick and roll setup here. Now we're playing to the next action. Backdoor's not there. Play to the next action. Here's the forwards out. Swing to the wing, which go flow into the pick and roll on that empty side. Reject the ball screen, score. Got to be able to reject ball screens to utilize the ball screen properly. Forwards out to brush. Here's point fist. Hits the big, backdoor. And we saw that in the last clip as well. The backdoor wasn't there. He turned, came back to the point guard, handoff, played on the two-man. Brush entry. Hands it off this time. We go 45. Here's the dribble handoff. Not there. Backdoor. Right back to the big. Just phenomenal offense. Here's Richmond out of the shuffle action. Could be called a two-guard action as well. Pop. Big pops. Here comes a shuffle cut. There's a down screen here. So there's a couple options here. This guy catching the ball can either shoot it, he can flow into the pick and roll, or as you see here, he just plays like he's already playing out of the pick and roll. So he's got a little advantage created. The big's already helping. This is the exact situation they would have gotten a pick and roll, so they just play out of the down screen. It's a great bounce pass. One more to Shooter off the help. Score. Richmond does a great job cutting out of the Princeton action, but also just out of their offense in general. So here's a give and go. Again, the cue that I give for my guys is if the guy defending you is not between you and the hoop, you have to go backdoor. The read is backdoor. Then you got to be able to throw guys open. You see the back of their head, throw them open. Here's point middle. Guys trailing, little drop, bounce pass. There's no help. Number 10 is following his guy out off the exit. There's no help on the other side of the floor. Layup. Probably one of the most difficult things is to teach your players to throw the pass without being concerned about the turnover. As a coach, you're going to have to be okay, potentially early season, year 1, year 2, as you're teaching this stuff, to be okay with a few turnovers trying to throw these backdoor passes. It's what makes the offense effective. If you're not going to throw them, you're going to lose a lot of effectiveness out of the offense. There's a goaltend call on the 45 cut. Pop, 45, play to the next action. The big catches, he's immediately catch, one dribble, back into the handoff, gets an open look for his teammate. Here's a give and go, hits the big, right back to him. Here's an entry into low. This is another phase of Princeton, the low phase. We're not going to talk about it in this video. We'll break it down a different time. We get a low post catch here, which triggers a cut right down the middle of the floor. It could go split. He noticed he had his defender beat. Number 2's trailing him. Go right to the hoop. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share this video with your Princeton Offense coaches. Send me a message on Twitter, on X, at @NateHartman_. I'd love to talk Princeton Offense. I'm doing some consulting for some college programs, for some high school programs where I'll spend more time, go more in depth, and you can join that community of coaches, break down game film together, break down Princeton Offense together. You can also get on my website at coachnatehartman.com for a bunch of free resources, a bunch of free videos. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. I have a free ball handling workout for you if you want it. Send it my way. Appreciate the support. We'll catch you next time.